RSVP clubs, to having a mindfulness committee for the first time ever, to having an ambassador from Hope for the first time ever. Yeah, Adrian, see you. And so much more that we did. I'm so honored to be here, representing the student voice and making sure that they're always heard. Although I'm a representative of all the students across the district, I can't be here without acknowledging my roots. As a Syrian American, I'm so proud to be representing some students across the country who are definitely going to be watching this video on the WhatsApp video that my mom makes. So, hi guys. I wouldn't be here today without acknowledging all of them, and of course my mom and grandma who are here today. You guys can stand up. Can we get a round of applause for them? Thank you for making me who I am today and just allowing me to experience everything that I got to with these past few years, or this past year in specific. As I get closer to graduation, it makes me think back on the memories that I've made, and we'd be here for a long time if I shared them all, but I just want to thank all of you for making those memories with me and just inspiring me to become a friend of yours and just continue to be working with you. I'm excited to say that I'm going to be going to Harvey Mudd College, so I'll be staying pretty close, and if you ever want me to come down, I'll always be back. Who knows, maybe I'll be sitting at the dais again as a board member in a few years. I'm just kidding. I just want to thank you all for inspiring me, and not just myself, but inspiring the students across the district and just making sure their voices are heard. That really is what I'm proud to be here for, and I never thought I'd experience all that I got to with some adults that just really made my year, and I want to thank each and every one of you, so thank you. And now, I think we're going to be honored. Thank you.
Well, Abdullah, don't let go of that dream. I hope to see you up in that dais as a board member someday, soon, right?
Yeah, thank you. And one more thing, as a token of my appreciation and, again, my Syrian roots, I want to bring you all some gifts that I'll bring out right now.
Well, I want to acknowledge Abdullah. I think we've had quite a few leaders who are part of AUHSD, especially being on the dais right there. I've never seen somebody who is very active, and not only in the community, but also leading all of you guys. I think he put a lot of pressure on all of you to step up and set the bar high. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Mom and Grandma who are here, because that shows what a job well done you've done with him. And I was very proud because he was having a conversation with one of our council members at the Steamapalooza, and he shared his dream of wanting to go back to Syria and help rebuild the country, because as you all know, it's a war-torn country. But that really shows your character. So thank you very much, and we're going to miss you, but I'm sure that you're going to have a lot more to do in the future. We're going to hear a lot more from you. So thank you, Abdullah. All right, well, I know it's 7 o'clock, but I can't wait to introduce you guys and take a picture with you guys before I go to my next meeting. So 7.2, let's go to the next item, which is AUHSD Student Ambassador Recognition. The Board of Trustees honors the district student ambassadors for their service and important contribution to the district during the year 2021-2022 year. The ambassadors serve as official spokespersons for all district students at special ceremonies, events, and functions. The student leaders are also deeply embedded in the district's governance structure and actively provide the student voice whenever possible. And right now, I'd like to invite Ron Hoshi to come in and introduce the rest of the ambassadors so that they could actually not only introduce themselves, talk about where you're going to college. But I want to take this, because I'm going to run out, but I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you. I think every single event that I've been to, you guys were there with smiles welcoming all of us. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard from our community of how well you represent AUHSD and what good character you bring and a role models that you are for many of our students who are looking up to you. So thank you for carrying the AUHSD banner and also having that service-oriented mindset, because I think I mentioned before where Cynthia made that comment when she came to one of our events to say, like, I said, you know, you're from Loera and you're at Anaheim, and she said, no, this is my community too. So having that mindset and coming up and serving the entire district, hats off to all of you guys, and thank you very much for your service. So, Mr. Ron Hoshi, come on up.
Because we're doing it in order. Not only are these students magnificent leaders, but I just have to add that they truly demonstrated what servant leadership is. And if you saw them at all the things that they were serving at. So without further ado, here we go. From Anaheim High School, we have Sebastian Mata.
Well, good evening, board, district cabinet, and to my mom and dad watching from home. My name is Sebastian Mata, and I've been the student ambassador at Anaheim High School this past year. I want to thank the Anaheim Union High School District for this amazing opportunity to serve our students and to serve my students. From leading RSVP summits in my school to serving on the Opening Schools District-wide Schools Task Force, this position has allowed me to give back to my school and community in countless ways. I want to thank all the staff at Anaheim High School for supporting this year. Thank you, Mr. Calleros, Mrs. Conrad, Mrs. Cuellar, Mr. Clark, Mr. Hernandez, Profe Calderon, Mrs. Ortiz, Ms. Garcia, Mr. Najera, and last but not least, Mr. Tenorio, for supporting me and for supporting all of our students every day at Anaheim. I will be continuing my education, pursuing a bachelor's degree in finance at Cal State Fullerton, so I'll be down the street. To everyone who is here tonight, I know a lot of people already left, but to everyone who is here tonight and who's watching from home, counselors, administrators, social workers, coaches, and teachers, thank you for all that you do every day and continue changing the world through Unlimited You.
I've interacted more with Sebastian doing the great work in Anaheim High School, so keep it up. Everybody's still rocking here.
I'm going to turn this over to Abdullah.
All right, next up, we have Catherine Crota from Cambridge Virtual Academy.
Well, hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Catherine Crota, and I am from Cambridge Virtual Academy. It has been an honor serving my school site as the ambassador, and I could just proudly say that I have gained and learned so much this past year. At the beginning of the year, I was a really shy, introverted student, and I loathed public speaking. And although I'm quite introverted still, I could say I have, become very much better at speaking. I am now able to stand in front of you guys with more confidence than I was before, and I am very grateful for all the connections I was able to make this year. I was able to meet a lot of great people, and I was able to learn a lot to serve my school and to learn how to deliver the student voice properly. I'm able to continue my journey at Cal State Fullerton this year, and I will definitely take a lot of the lessons that I've learned from all of you guys individually and all of my peers that I stand with today. So thank you so much.
Next up, we have Eunice Kim from Cypress High School.
Not at all. All right, good evening. My name is Eunice Kim, and I have proudly represented Cypress High School this year. It's truly been an honor serving as an ambassador this year, from leading Cypress's first school-wide summit to giving a speech at the AI Summit to representing many Korean Americans across our district. Thank you to the Cypress family and the greater AUHSD community. I've gained so much. This is not an exhaustive list, but crucial time management skills, professionalism, a second family. And I'll definitely be carrying these gains as I attend Harvard College in the fall to study biology and public policy. So thank you for your time and dedication to Student Voice. It's truly been an honor, and you have not seen the last of me.
All right, next up, from Gilbert High School, we have Mari Meza.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mari Meza, and I'm from Gilbert High School. A few months ago at the beginning of this program, I introduced myself to you, and I told you all what this role and this program meant to me. These past few months, this program has given me much more than I ever expected. I made a group of friends that easily became a family. I went to various events that showed just how much our district truly comes together as a community. I want to thank the administrative team at my school site, Mr. Lara, Ms. Pittman, Dr. Slim, and I also want to give a special thanks to the one person who gave me this role, Mr. John Deshane. He has not only become my person to go to whenever I need something, he is my ASB director, and he easily became a father figure as well. I also want to thank Mr. Hoshi and the advisory team for the ambassador program. They have helped me through a lot of struggles this year. They know what I'm talking about. In the next few weeks, my senior year will be coming to an end, and I will be graduating. Coming August, I will be attending UCI to major in biology. That will also successfully make me the first person in my family to attend a four-year university, so I will be a first-generation student. I can say that I'm truly nervous for my future endeavors, but I'm also excited and prepared for it all, so thank you.
All right, next up, I'm so honored to invite Adrian Barrios, who is actually making history as being the first ambassador from Hope School.
I'm Adrian from Hope, and I'm the ambassador this year. I like working with my team. And I will be back next year.
And Ms. Barrios is in the crowd, by the way, so can we get a round of applause for Ms. Barrios for helping? All right, next up, we have Esmeralda Ferraguino from Catella High School.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Esmeralda Ferraguino, and I am currently serving as the Catella High School Student Ambassador. Standing here today is truly a bittersweet moment as my year is coming to an end. Just a few weeks from today, I will be walking on stage at Handel Stadium, graduating. First of all, I want to thank the amazing student ambassadors sitting here today for making this position one of the most memorable things that I've participated in. They have truly helped me throughout the entire year, making new memories every day and learning from every single one of them. A special thank you to Abdullah, who truly guided us throughout this entire journey. Believe it or not, I actually kind of do like him, even though I tell him that I don't. He's been a good leader. He's been an amazing friend, so thank you, Abdullah. And most importantly, to my mom and dad. Hi, Mom, if you're watching this, I did it. With this being said, I am beyond excited to announce that I will be continuing my education at Cal State Fullerton to pursue a biology and psychology degree. What I want to do with the rest of my life, I will figure it out along the way, as I am a true believer that everything happens for a reason and that we will end up where we belong. Once again, thank you for this amazing opportunity. It's been a pleasure being the student ambassador. Thank you.
She's an amazing advocate. She was actually, the first time I met her, she was advocating on behalf of her sister.
All right, from Kennedy High School, Alvaro Uribe.
Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, evening to everyone in the audience. Thank you to you guys. So as Abdul mentioned, my name is Alvaro Uribe, and I am the current ambassador over at Kennedy High School. So the ambassador program, a program that I first thought would help me grow my talents solely in the educational leadership aspect. Not saying that that's a bad thing, you guys do amazing, but upon entering the ambassador program, I found that it helped me realize so many unexplored talents of mine, such as graphic arts. So in the ambassador program, I co-created the official AUHSC ambassador logo. I created an AUHSC ambassador brochure, student report magazine, and thank you cards that hopefully you guys will all see very soon. They're still in the works and conversation. I also even created a step and repeat for our banquet, and all of these things helped me really get immersed in graphic arts, which I never even thought I would before joining the ambassador program. And what I'm getting at here is, well, will I continue to pursue graphic arts in college? No, but what I'm trying to get at is the AUHSC Ambassador Program allowed me to explore things that I never thought I would, and in doing so, it fostered an unlimited me. An unlimited me that is beyond ecstatic to announce my full ride commitment to Brown University as a biochemistry major. I am so excited to attend Brown, which is an Ivy that prides itself in its open curriculum. And what that open curriculum means to me is it will allow me to continue to explore my interests without limits. And in doing so, I am confident and I know that I will be able to continue AUHSC's mission of exploring an unlimited me through all that they have to offer. Thank you.
All right, it's my pleasure to invite Cynthia Felix from Loera High School.
Good evening, community. My name is Cynthia Felix. I am the student ambassador for Loera High School, and I'm humbled to be standing right here in front of you. My high school career may be ending, but this is just the beginning of my career in public service and leadership, as I have committed to Chapman on a full ride. And my major, thank you, and a double major in engineering and political science, as well as a minor in education. 3 years ago, when I first moved from the United States, I had not imagined I would be here pursuing a career of my interest and being inspired by such amazing leaders like you. I want to thank my mother for being my best supporter. And I am just so grateful for being part of such a loving and resilient community. I also want to acknowledge Rahi Patel, who unfortunately had to leave to receive some scholarships at his Magnolia Award site. And he just wanted to say thank you, as he had one of the best experiences here in the AUHSD. He will be attending UCLA on a full ride in biology. And we just want to say thank you for being such a loving community. I am speechless, so I hope you have a beautiful evening.
Again, a superstar at every event.
All right, also from Oxford Academy, we have Suvan Ravi.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I just want to say, previous to this year, I never imagined myself being in this kind of position. If you don't know me, I think Abdul knows me. I'm from Oxford, so I'm a nerd. I'm just a super tech guy. I like spend my whole time in robotics. So when I joined, my first time I was here, we came here to get funding for robotics. When we went to World. So that was one thing why I joined, is that I wanted to advocate for students and like things like VAPA, and I think that's what I did. I went to a lot of events. I got to meet so many people. I realized I'm in a little this bubble in Cyprus, and it was amazing meeting so many new people, connecting with all of you, you guys too, and Mr. Cullen back there. It was so fun. And especially my team, it was amazing getting to know each and one of you. All the times we hanged out, all the times we worked together to accomplish so many things. It was great, and thank you to my mom back there. She's probably recording me, and my dad for driving me around so much. So I couldn't have done it without you guys. And I just want to say I'm going to UC Berkeley for electrical engineering and computer science. So this thing has really made me think through what I want to do in my future, and I've seen my teachers and how much impact they made and how much impact you guys made on future, and I think that's one thing I want to continue on. So I hope to come back. I hope to see everyone again. I hope to still be part of this community.
All right, representing Savannah High School, we have Daniel Bloom.
All right, so good evening. My name is Daniel Bulum, and throughout this past year, I have had the pleasure of serving Savannah High School as student ambassador. I remember 8 months ago when I spoke to you all, and now I speak to you all again, talking about this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. For me personally, I was most inspired by connecting with all of our feeder elementary schools and learning about all of the different communities that calls Anaheim home. Thank you to my Savannah family, and a special thank you to my own family, to my RCP advisor, Mr. Kim, and to my successor, Janice Today, for your endless support no matter the hardships I faced throughout this past year. As I move on in life, I plan to attend UCLA with goals of becoming a speech-language pathologist and an emphasis on multilingualism and foreign language. Perhaps I'll even break into education and give back to the community that raised me through Unlimited U. Thank you.
All right, and last but definitely not least, from Western High School, we have Nicholas Din.
Hello everyone, my name is Nicholas Din and I'm a proud student at Western High School. Being an ambassador is an opportunity like no other. Before you all today, before meeting Mr. Hoshi, Mrs. Brown, Ms. Vasquez, and my fellow ambassadors, I would have never imagined speaking in front of the board, the cabinet, and other dignitaries today. For me, being an ambassador was a role I took on my junior year and extended to my senior year when I first got announced as being a student ambassador. And having the opportunity to represent my student body at Western was one of the best experiences I ever had. As someone who was initially nervous and scared of what high school might look like, I am proud to say that I had one of my best memories in high school. And it was because of my friends, my teachers, staff, and faculty, which have installed within me confidence to pursue my goals. As for my future plans, I plan on studying at the University of Southern California at the Annenberg School for Journalism and Communications. With that being said, I hope to one day work in news and media and pursue my goals because with this program, although I was initially nervous of getting into that field, I feel much confident that I have such a supportive family and team behind me, knowing that I can succeed. Thank you.
All right, thank you to my entire team. And are we going to do a group picture with everyone? Should we do? Yeah? All right, let's do one big picture with all the ambassadors.
So, I'd like to invite the advisors as well.
Yes.
Hoshi and Jennifer Brown, come on up. And I know all of this work that they put in, both of them have taken the lead, so thank you very much on behalf of the board for doing this, Ron. And Jennifer, thank you very much. Come on up.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Mr. Hoshi and Mrs. Brown. We also have Ms. Vasquez, who couldn't be here. Yeah. So thank you for all your leadership and support. And one final shout out to the person who was taking that last picture. That's actually going to be our next student representative to the Board of Trustees. So Omkar Katir, would you like to stand up real quick and just wave to everyone? You'll be seeing a lot more of him next year.
While everybody's getting up here, I know all the board members want to just say something really quick. Every year we say, wow, what a great group of ambassadors. And it's not a cliche because we really honestly mean it. This year, you guys, you have raised the bar so high, your predecessors will have a really, really hard time kind of catching up with you. Every single one of you has made yourself known, not just, being friendly and not just greeting. You have gone over and above and beyond anything that ambassadors in the past, I'm sorry, any ambassadors in the past that are listening, but honestly, We have heard so many stories, and people are coming up to us. When Al-Jabbar said in the community that you have made a difference, we mean it. Those words are not flippant. You have made an amazing impact on your school sites and in this AUHSD community, and you will be really sorely missed. So those of you who promised to come back, please do. We love you so much. We love you so much. Thank you.
So as you can see, Mr. Jabbar has stepped out, so I'm stepping in for a few minutes. I want to thank you, ambassadors, for all the work you have provided to the district and to your fellow students throughout this past year. I know everywhere I went, there were many ambassadors there, always greeting me by name, handshake, and asking what they can do for me. So I appreciate that. And I know the new ambassadors for next year, you're going to be doing the same thing as they are doing, and maybe even better. So the bar is up there for you to reach up and grab and run with it. So congratulations to you ambassadors and your future, where you're going to be going next year. So we're all behind you. So next item is 7.3, Culinary Arts Programs. The Board of Trustees will recognize the culinary arts students and teachers from Anaheim, Cypress, Gilbert, Catella, Savannah, and Western High Schools. Throughout the 21-22 year, the culinary arts students prepared and served delicious meals for the Board of Trustees prior to each board meeting. The following teachers and students will be recognized for their culinary art talents. And why doesn't the board come out here? I'll go over to the podium and read. And
See who's here. I know Gilbert is here.
Gilbert's here.
Yes.
Okay. First off is Anaheim High School. Robert Police is the teacher. He's not here. Okay, we'll give just a minute for the people to leave, and then we'll go in after Anaheim. Okay, how about Catella High School? Stacy Isabel? Teacher? Nope, okay. How about Cypress High School? Elena Karapolis? Nope, she's the teacher. Okay. How about Savannah High School? Bob Muswani is the teacher. Nope. How about, I don't know about Gilbert High School. Anybody here from Gilbert High School? Come on forward. We have Jason Jasmine, teacher. Yeah. Hi. So in the group, I'm not sure they're all here tonight. I don't think so, but we have Holber Castillo, Christopher Cervantes, Devora Estrada, Sami Hussein, Justin Lopez, and Michelle Munoz. I think you're probably in that group. Okay. What's your name?
Alex Asensio.
Alex Asensio and who's that name? Gil Ferry. Bunch. Pardon me? Caleb? Caleb. Oh, Caleb. I'm sorry. Come on out front. And also Western High School. Anybody here from Western High School? That would be Corey Mead is the teacher. No? Okay. Thank you.
They all did a great job all year long. We had
probably should have stayed up there.
Oh, what do we have? Oh, basketball.
High
school.
I put it in.
Basketball,
Yes.
7.4.
That's the next one on the back side of page 4.
7.4.
7.4.
Next is 7.4, Western High School Division 4, Southern Section, CIF Boys Basketball Champions. Come on up. The Western High School boys basketball team won the first CIF basketball championship in school history. The team has also won back-to-back Orange League championships. The team is coached by Joseph Ihara and Mark Harrison. The school community The school community was awesome in their support of the team and showed up to cheer them on all the way past Santa Barbara to Dos Pueblos in the championship game. After a slow start, the team was 4-8 at one point. They went on to win 15 of their next 16 games en route to the championship. That's amazing. The team was not seeded in the top 16 going into the playoffs and beat higher seeded teams in every round, culminating in a 16-point margin against the number 2 seed in the championship game. There were 6 four-year seniors on the team, led by back-to-back Orange League MVP and back-to-back all-CIF player Ahmed Amori, Jameson Jam Lambson, they were selected to the All-Orange League team and an All-CIF selection. He was also the Scholar Athlete of the Year at Western High School. Sophomore Keith Davis and junior Alex Burns also gained All-Orange League status for the season. Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely. Coaches, come on up, say a few words. Congratulations.
It's an absolute pleasure to represent Western High School and bring these young men to the board. They had a phenomenal season. They are outstanding young men. We're working on academics daily, but some of them have done some great things. Some of them are works in progress. But it's what we do. And every one of these kids has been at Western since they were freshmen. We haven't had any transfers. We don't get anybody coming in to try and, we don't go out and recruit. We just raise the kids that we got, and we teach them, and they trusted myself and Coach Ihara with what we brought them. And that's why we won, because of their trust in their coaches and their belief in each other. And this truly, truly was a family of young men that got on a journey and just wasn't going to be stopped. And it was something that you never imagine as a coach winning a CIF championship coaching. That's not why I coach, and that's not why Coach Ihara coached, but it's one of the greatest rewards. And I'm just very proud of these young men and proud of what they accomplished. And thank you to everyone that supported us along the way.
Okay, so you guys started off, what was your record?
4-8.
4-8. What do you think turned it around for these young men? Because they could have gone the other way, right? Here they are, champions, CIF.
They finally started seeing the benefit of what we were drilling every day. And sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees. And we did the same drills every day. Yes, Lenzo, we did the same drills every day. He complained about it one time. And at some point, it just kind of clicked in and it became habits. And once they started to say, hey, we see it working, they believed in it. And we said all through the playoffs, nobody else believed in us. but us. And that was kind of our rallying cry in pregame was no one believes we're going to win, but you guys do, so let's go take care of it. And that was just the major part of the accomplishment.
Just members of the board and the cabinet, thank you. And I see so many of my former bosses here and I sort of freak out. But I just want to piggyback on what Coach Harrison said. And these are all boys that are part of Anaheim, that went to Dale, that went to Orangeview, that weren't brought in from the outside. And there is nothing like seeing a group of young men coming together and believing in a common cause, and then seeing our community going. And like Coach Harrison said, the championships are great, but the relationships and to see the growth. And we always told them, you know, the CIF championship banner in the Pio Dome is sweet, and it'll be there forever, and it can never be taken away, just like their education. And to see the whole community come, and it was one of the best things. And the community has already come together and bought them all their championship rings, and we got those coming together. But truly, this is the Anaheim spirit of a bunch of kids local here that go home, that all went to Dale, all went to, you know, Orangeview, and it was one of the truly most magnificent, just greatest things to see. And we feel blessed to be a part of it. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Looks spiffy.
Good job.
Looks spiffy.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. Love it. They look so sharp.
What an amazing story. I love
Yes.
that.
Okay, next up, reports 8.1, student representatives report.
All right.
Last.
Last one.
The last report, yeah.
Yes.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to finish up with my last school report. It's a little bit longer, but I'm just going to finish everything, everything that I've been meaning to say, As of last Friday, every single high school in the Anaheim Union District has held an RSVP summit for the first time ever. So making history as always. And we're not stopping there, so hopefully we'll be able to expand to junior high school soon. But there's more coming, so just look forward to that. RSVPs are now working for their third summit to showcase the changes that they've made by students for students, so that's coming soon. Seniors are sharing a lot of their lasts. Prom was just across the board held last month. Graduation and grad night are being planned in the works right now. There was a commitment week at Cypress High School and a college signing day at Magnolia to honor our seniors and where they're going for college. And the senior capstone projects were held at Western, Loera, and Savannah to showcase all that our seniors are doing. As our sports wrap up, we have a lot of great news that I'm sure you guys just heard. Also, alongside that, Oxford Academy tennis and volleyball are both league champions, and tennis is still pushing through CIF. I actually wrote this in my notes, but I think it was Mr. O'Neill that said this. Western's Ahmed Hamoudi was back-to-back Orange League MVP and CIF champion and won the honor of being selected on the all-county third team.
Western has a lot more, actually, so congratulations to our Western seniors, Laisha Santillan for the Women's Athlete of the Year, and Kimberly Campos for getting Scholar Athlete of the Year. Michael Horta Aviles was named the All-County First CIF Wrestling Team, and Western and Magnolia were co-league champions in tennis. Also, as a part of our ambassador team, Rahi Patel was singles #1 and will be representing the Orange League as the #1 singles league player at the CIF individuals. And also, I'm not sure if this is considered a sport, but Loera students beat the staff in a student v. staff swimathon, so there's that as well. And also from Loera, senior Daniela Giron was the top swimmer from the southern section, so pretty impressive. Back to some academic stuff. Students are studying hard for finals, APs, IB classes, and many more. From Kennedy High School, the band performed at the first ever La Palma City Festival of Nations. Also at Kennedy, they held, sorry, there's a fly. Also at Kennedy, they held every 15-minute showcase that showcased the dangers of drunk driving that had a really huge impact on the students. On April 7th at Western, they had a career fair during fourth period and lunch with over 50 different organizations coming to Western to share different opportunities and spread awareness to students. The Western's iLab team, who is currently working with a CEO to produce and sell a physical game, has already established a prototype for their product, and it was actually showcased at Steamapalooza, where they got to open it up to the public to try out their game. So it's great to see Western students working with real-life CEOs and creating their own products. A huge announcement that I'm sure we're going to hear more later of, and we've already heard of, is that Anaheim High School is named a democracy school as of April 12th, and they have become the 17th democracy school for AUHSD, which is an honor that came for the work from our staff, administration, and students to create civil discourse all across that level at Anaheim High School. Catella was named with the California State Green Ribbon Award, and with a special shout out to the AP Environmental Science teacher, Ms. Lujan. At Cypress, freshman students created a project educating future freshmen on the ins and outs of high schools with do's and don'ts, common high school slang. Like, you know, I was talking to some 7th graders and they didn't know what a junior or senior was, and I was like, oh, I don't think I knew that either. So it's really good to see that. And also some advice for their high school career. Loera held their Saxon Summit exit interviews where all seniors reflected on the 5 C's. Pretty cool, and how they were able to apply them to their daily lives. Also at Loera, they held a soapbox speech competition finals on April 9th, and another member of our ambassador group, Cynthia Felix, was awarded the Anaheim Secondary Teachers Association scholarship for $1,000, so congratulations to her. And that's all for my report, and I just want to say thank you everyone for this opportunity. I'm gonna miss writing up these reports and heckling them to get more information, but I'm really glad I got to do this, and thank you all so much.
Abdullah, I think this experience of writing these reports is just the beginning of your life for the next few
Thank
years,
you.
writing
Thank you.
reports. So.
I hope to write more reports in the future, so.
Okay, great.
I'd like to add to that I said to you one night, you will be so successful in life. And I think everything that you do and attempt to do will be part of your success. It's been a joy to have known you, as limited as it has been, and to know that your mother and your grandmother are here. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a joy.
Thank you, thank you.
It's hard when they leave and go away to school, but
You're gonna make my mom cry again. She's been crying all day, so.
We have Kleenex.
well, I want to thank you for your gift to us.
Should be, right.
Absolutely, you have every reason to be.
Right.
Thank you.
I just came in time. I got to go back again, but the meeting's a mess. But anyways, I just came in time. Glad to be here to, again, congratulate you. I know we're going to see big and better things from you, Abdullah. So I'm honored to know you. So thank you. All right, so I'm going to move on to our student speakers, 8.2. I have a few. And I'm going to first call on, so just to basically let you know, any Anaheim Union High School District student in the audience who wishes to speak to the Board of Trustees may do so at this time. Students wishing to address the Board of Trustees should complete a student speaker request form available on the information table at the back of the room and submit it to the executive assistant prior to the meeting. Students wishing to speak at this time are limited to 3 minutes. Board members cannot immediately respond to student comments as stated on the speaker request form. Students may also choose to speak during the public comment section of the agenda instead of this time. However, they may only speak once per topic during the meeting. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call Jade. Is it Oil? Come on up, Jade. And I think Oxford Academy.
Hello, esteemed trustees. Thank you very much for letting me speak today. I'm going to be talking about one of the things you're going to be talking about later, which is LGBTQ plus rights. I'm from Auxford Academy. I am the current president of the school's Csea, and I just want to say that it is fantastic what you guys are doing here. I know that a lot of schools currently in this country are being very closed-minded about what they're allowing their students to talk about and what they are allowing their students to know. And I think that it is great that you guys are going to be talking here today about real issues that students are facing and will make them feel better in the school environment. And I just wanted to spotlight one of my teachers back at school. Her name is Miss Voscular. She is a great history teacher. She talked about the LGBTQ+ rights during the 60s and things like that, which is something you don't see every day, and it made me feel seen, and I know a lot of other people that I know also felt seen, and I think it's so important to have a safe space at schools, and I think it is fantastic that you guys are going to be pushing for that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jade. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, our next speaker is Mariana Eliar. Oh, that's you. I'm sorry.
Good evening, board. So I'm speaking today for a student who is currently in Gilbert's GSA, which is our Gay Straight Alliance, or Rainbow Gladiators as we all know it. Adrian unfortunately could not make it today due to another commitment, but Adrian wanted you all to know, providing LGBTQ plus recognized days, events, and resources throughout our district would be extremely beneficial to our queer youth. Providing these opportunities for the community, for the LGBTQ plus community in the district is paramount in making us feel comfortable in our own skin and welcomed in a community, especially if we don't feel that comfort in our own homes. Growing up, Adrian experienced that if you don't have the confidence and happiness within yourself, it's easy to let yourself be pushed around. Adrian has been fortunate enough to be provided with supportive resources by being part of the Gilbert Rainbow Gladiators. The more resources that the district can provide and the people we meet through those resources, the easier it is for us to build that confidence. Along with Adrian, I am also part of GSA. I want to recognize Ms. Mawson, who, as in GSA class, we call her Momson, and that is because she is truly a mom to us. To a lot of us, we don't have parents that accepted us for who we are. I fortunately did, but I know a lot of the students in my class did not. And they truly do have this period to learn about their community. Thankfully, Ms. Mawson has reached out to the LGBTQ+ Center, and thanks to them, we receive mental health help. So we do take therapy once a week, every Wednesday. We have trauma-enforced yoga, and this is something that we're also providing to students that are not only in GSA, but students that we know are part of our community and haven't quite come out yet to everyone else. So this is a time that we allow them to kind of speak to people who are in their community. So thank you again for providing that help for us.
Thank you, Mariana. Great work. Stephanie Camacho Van Dykes. I'm not a student. Sorry. Oh, you're not a student. Okay. This came out as a student. Okay. No, I think I have one right here. Augustine Huey.
Hello, thank you, and good evening to the board. Standing with me, I have Nolan Oshiro,
who is also supposed to be on the list, but I will be speaking on behalf of both of us. We are both representatives from Cyprus's Csea. I am currently a senior attending Cyprus, and I have been president of Csea. So today I will be speaking on behalf of the LGBT community and LGBT students at Cyprus High School and the Auhsd School District. And I have just been so honored to be a part of this school district and to see how quickly and how far we've come in our progress in making sure the LGBT community feels safe and accepted in our schools and within our community. And especially coming back from the pandemic, our school district has just been putting so much effort into giving back to the community and to making sure that we all feel safe and welcome. And as an LGBT student attending Cyprus, it just makes me feel so comforted to know that we are giving a safe place back to these students who may not come from such great communities or who may not feel welcome at home, and that we are doing so much more to try and help move forward to make our community feel safer. And when we vote on these changes, that we are going to be representing not just ourselves, but future generations of students like freshmen and incoming middle schoolers who will be wanting to find a safe place where they can feel safe to be them and to be themselves. And we'll be normalizing and educating others who may not be as familiar on these topics, and we will be providing a safe space for them. And they deserve to feel protected and to have the right to be as they are, and this will propel us forward as not only a very progressive school district, but will also pave the way forth for other school districts to follow in our paths. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. We have, is it Nolan or Noah or Shiro? Oh, both of you. Okay, all right, perfect. All right. So we're done with our student speakers. Do we have any other student speakers who I didn't call upon? All right. Thank you very much to all the students who came out and advocated. I really appreciate that. I'm going to 8.3, reports of association. Officers present from the district's employee association will be invited to address the board of trustees. And I'm going to start with our Teachers Association.
Esther. That's you, Grant.
I got such a cheer last time when I didn't speak.
Well, before you start, congratulations on your statewide WHO award from all the work that you've done, and appreciate that you're taking the lead not only here, but also outside of the district. So thank you.
To be honest, too, the award was given in honor of the work that's being done in conjunction with this district around community schools and the model that we're setting. So because of my position in the union, I received the award, but it has to do with everyone in this room, all of the teachers, the parents, the community groups that are coming together to do this, and I was happy to accept it. Very quickly before I give my report, I just wanted to say, just to recognize, it was only a year ago that Magnolia student Ivan Ayala stood up here and came out publicly for the first time and talked about how a GSA was a safe spot on our campuses, but aside from that half hour a week, it was often a struggle to be who he was on his campus and to see what the district is moving forward with to expand the areas on a campus that people will feel safe across classrooms, across activity areas, whatever space people are in. What we are moving forward to do is going to encourage that feeling of safety and belonging across our campuses. And as an association, we greatly appreciate the district standing up for that for our students and for our members, who some of which are in the same position and don't always feel as welcome as everybody else who is an employee in the district. So back to my report. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and attendees here in the room and online. Well, here we are at the end of last year. Our folks thought they had just finished the most challenging year of their careers. And then this year happened. During this Teacher Appreciation Week, I want to thank all of our educators in AUHSD and all of the staff who support us as we serve our students and their families. This year, we have risen to the challenge of addressing needs of students that none of us envisioned while building relationships with our students that will serve us all moving forward. I would also like to recognize a few ASTA members tonight. This week, Kristen Goosens of Catella, Jennifer Hung of Hope, and Susan Larson of Lexington were recognized at our County Who Awards dinner for their service to our members in ASTA, working in the Anaheim Union High School District. Additionally, yesterday, ASTA had a well-attended social hour celebrating our members during Teacher Appreciation Week. And I also wanted to recognize the team of teachers who went to Philadelphia last weekend for the Network for Public Education Conference. This annual meeting has become an event attended by a joint team funded by ASTA and AUHSD in support of public education as the foundation of American democracy. It was a productive weekend of presentations, networking, and brainstorming between teachers, administrators, community activists, parents, and religious leaders. We look forward to doing that again next year. This brings us to the main point of my report. Last week at the Green Ribbon ceremony held at Catella, Superintendent Matsuda mentioned a quote from Rachel Carson in the book Silent Spring about coming environmental disaster. It's worth repeating. The quote is, "We now stand where two roads diverge, but unlike the roads in Robert Frost's familiar poem, they are not equally fair. The road we have long been traveling is deceptively easy, a smooth superhighway on which we progress with great speed, but at the end lies disaster. The other fork in the road, the one less traveled by, offers our only chance to reach a destination that assures the preservation of our earth." Over the past 2 weeks, I've thought about how that quote fits public education in general and our district in particular. We as a district and we as an association of educators are committed to the road less traveled. In education, the superhighway is full of standardized tests, privatization, union busting, and the continued silencing of community voices that have been excluded throughout the history of public education. We stand down the road less traveled with a belief in community schools, ethnic studies, student voice, and preparing our children to be active citizens engaged in the improvement of their communities. Our commitment to this road less traveled is the path to a vibrant and thriving democracy. This road will not be easy. It will not be easy to take, and it's going to take more than just intention to get there. A second quote tonight concerns how we make it down the road less traveled. "Progress travels at the speed of trust," is a quote from one of my first trainings on community schools. If we are to continue down the road and build the civically engaged democracy, we must all individually and collectively as leaders continue to build trust. In this room and on this dais, we all have built relationships within the district over several years. Out at the sites, we have hired several hundred educators and support staff since the beginning of the pandemic. They are surviving and oftentimes thriving, but they have not had the ability to develop the trust among their colleagues and the district necessary to fulfill the promise of community schools, ethnic studies, student empowerment, and a civically engaged student population. We must move forward together in the shared model of collaborative leadership to ensure our students, parents, community partners, educators, and staff are moving together quickly down that road with a shared vision and understanding of what is at stake and what reward lies at the end of the road. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grant. Congratulations again. All right, do we have anybody else? Yep, come on down, Amanda B.
Amanda.
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of ALTA. Just a couple of things. First, on behalf of all the administrators, we'd like to celebrate our teachers. and wish them a happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We know that everyone is working very hard in the classrooms and just want to thank you for those efforts. Also, I'd like to welcome all of the new administrators that were appointed this evening. Welcome to your new roles, and we know that you will be great in what you're doing. I just want to say how excited we were to host in person our STEAM-a-Palooza, our district-wide open house this year. It was really so wonderful to see all of our sites to come together to showcase students, their amazing work, and really bring our drivers to life. It really was such a wonderful event. And just really want to, again, thank publicly Mr. Manuel Colon and Jackie Counts for their vision in that, and you know, how that has grown over the years, and we hope to continue that for years to come. Next year, we are launching at all of our campuses a capstone showcase at our junior highs and high schools, and so our sites are very busy working on that development, both the administrative teams and their site leadership teams, and so we're just really excited to be able to share with the community that structure that showcases our student growth, voice, and purpose, and again, bringing our drivers to life here in Anaheim Union. This Monday night, we're really proud to recognize our Csca Region 17 Administrators of the Year at their annual dinner. So we will be honoring Jennifer Brown, Jennifer Csea, Dr. Nancy Nguyen, and our partners, North Orange County ROP and Dr. Jennifer Goldstein from Cal State Fullerton. We're just very proud of these individuals and to have all of these people being recognized at this event. We're getting very excited about graduation. Our site and our district administrative teams are working to make sure that we ensure a memorable day for our students and their families, and just really excited to just close this year out with that event. Lastly, our teams are busy preparing for our summer programs. We have lots to offer this summer. We have a wide variety of enrichment programs like our Arts Academy, our AIM internships, KindSet, our Summer Language Academy, and then we also have a wide variety of credit recovery and acceleration programs. And so just want to thank the team of people putting that together here at the district level. So Carlos Hernandez, Amy Kwan, Diana Fujimoto, really working with our sites to make sure we have a lot of opportunity for our students to stay engaged in school. And again, at the end of a challenging year, we're just really looking forward to summer and a chance to rest and rejuvenate again ahead of the 22-23 school year. And just we know really great things planned for next year, and really just excited to get that going throughout the summer and into next year. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Amanda. Next is Karina Bradford, APGA.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Karina Bradford. I am our counselor on special assignment. I'm here on behalf of Corey Kretz and Natalie Saldivar. I am honored to support all of our counselors in our district, and I get to work alongside with the most passionate and dedicated people that I know. These stories that we've been sharing out throughout the school year are the stories behind the data, the heartbeat behind the pledge, the importance of the 5 C's in the implementation of CPSF. These stories have taken us only to the shore of the ocean that our counselors navigate every single day. I want to say thank you to our board for having open ears to these stories, and to our counselors who have taken us on this expedited tour in this very important work. Our last 2 schools for this school year are Anaheim High School and Sycamore Junior High School.
Hello, my name is Monica Pineda. I'm lead counselor at Sycamore Junior High, and I'm joined here with Mario Morales and Angela Medina, awesome counselors from Sycamore. And Mario will be sharing a story in a little bit, but I think Ms. Cuellar is going to come up and introduce her team.
Good evening. My name is Amy Cuellar, and I am the lead counselor at Anaheim High School. I have some of my teammates here with me. We have Aurora Ambry. She's our 12th grade counselor. We have Sabrina Ramirez. She's our 11th grade counselor. And we have Chao Nishimura, our 10th grade counselor. But we're going to start our stories with Sycamore Junior High.
So I drew the short stick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm happy to be here.
Good evening, board members and district leadership. Before I continue, I want to just give a little thanks to Mr. Colon. In my previous life, he was one of many people who nudged me to become a school counselor, and here I am. So thank you. All right. This has been a challenging year for many students for various reasons. However, we continue to work tirelessly to support our students in need. At Sycamore, the Counseling Center is like our second home, and our students have become part of our family. As a counseling team, we support them, we advocate for them, we listen to them, but most importantly, we care about our students. As counselors, we are fortunate to have meaningful conversations with our students regarding topics that are often too difficult for them to address with their own families and or peers. I recall one student in particular who came to the counseling center because they were feeling anxious and became emotional while in class. This student was obviously dealing with some personal struggles, and after speaking for a while, the student became comfortable and disclosed that they were struggling with telling their family about their gender identity. The student had not been able to tell anyone about their personal struggle and felt a real sense of relief that I was able to provide a safe space to share their story with me. I was honored that the student was able to speak their truth with me. After our conversation, I connected the students to mental health resources, and I'm happy to share that it's doing really well. The student has not been able to disclose their gender identity with their family. However, is more confident and has told some of their closest friends. At times, I struggle, and I'm sure we all struggle, whether or not we're making a difference in the lives of our students, because sometimes the things that they're struggling with are beyond our control. However, we choose to focus on the things that I am able to help them with. And for this particular student, they needed someone to show acceptance and kindness. They needed to feel seen and heard. They needed someone to talk to without being judged, and I was happy to be that person. A few days after our initial conversation, I found a note on my desk that read, "Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for understanding me and for being there to support me when my family can't." Although this has been a challenging school year, I am reminded of how important our work is when I think about the numerous students that I encounter on a daily basis and how crucial it is for me to be able to support their emotional well-being. Every student has a story, and at Sycamore, we're doing our best to ensure that the stories are heard. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Aurora Ambrose, and I'm the 12th grade counselor this year at Anaheim. Among the nearly 3,000 students at Anaheim High School, we have so many stories, just like Mario shared, so many struggles and challenges, but the student I wanted to share with you today is a student whose success has definitely not come easy to her. This student is an intelligent, driven, and involved young lady who has faced tremendous struggles, especially since the start of the pandemic. She is a student that, despite her academic abilities, did not perform well during the distance learning due to many personal obstacles. Her mother fell very ill and lost her job, so shortly after, their living situation drastically changed. This young lady was forced to work full-time and help pay for the family's expenses. Needless to say, school became second in line of priorities. We definitely had a lot of work to do beginning this school year. I would like to say that I was able to single-handedly help this student succeed, but I would be lying. It has been through a meaningful collaboration between our counseling office and our teachers to discuss how to provide necessary educational opportunities for this student. Our work with our community schools coordinator when the student needed things like food and rental assistance. Not to mention the collaboration with agencies like Anaheim's Project Csea, that has been a consistent support for the student in her journey. We have all worked tirelessly to support her through these difficult times, and now we begin to see the fruits of our labor. This young lady has now been accepted to Cal Poly Pomona and is looking forward to continuing her education. This is only one of many success stories that we all have at Anaheim High School, and we just like to say we appreciate so much the support from the staff and community for helping our most at-risk students. This is truly a testament that it takes a village to support our students in achieving their true potential. So thank you.
All right, thank you again for sharing the stories, and please, we all love hearing those accomplishments, so thank you. Keep it coming. Thank you.
So, Mr. Jabbar, President, may I have a point of personal privilege today?
Sure.
So I just want to give a shout out to all of our counselors, but in particular Sycamore. I made a connection with the counselor and the social worker. In my other capacity, I am a behavior interventionist with the Anaheim Elementary School District, and I reached out because we both have students in both districts. These students are struggling, and I made the connection, and I started to tell the story of our student in Anaheim Elementary. Counselor knew exactly who I was talking about before I had even mentioned a name. We collaborated, and we got on a Zoom call on Friday, and there were 12 people on the call, and they were a majority from Sycamore and another school, because the counselor knew where the student was going and contacted at the last minute the counselor from another school. It was heartwarming, and it was overwhelming at the same time. The students are struggling, but to know that they connect with so many resources and each other, Project Csea, the social workers, teachers, administration, the amount of time spent on this one child. It was really amazing. I am so proud to be a trustee of this district. I know how hard you work, and I just really want to thank you and honor you. We may succeed with these students, and we may not. We don't know, but you give it all your all. Please take back my gratitude and the board's gratitude. We know how difficult it's been, and we thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Randall Trejo, for sharing that. That's very touching. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go to the next item, which is 8.4, Parent Teacher Student Association, PTSA members. Anybody? I don't see anyone coming in, so we'll start with our public comments. Again, opportunities for public comments occur at the beginning of each agenda item, and at this time for items not on the agenda. Persons wishing to address the Board of Trustees should complete a speaker request form available on the information table at the back of the room and submit it to the executive assistant prior to the meeting. Each speaker is limited to a maximum of 5 minutes. Each topic and items limited to a total of 20 minutes. Board members cannot immediately respond to public comments as stated on the speaker request form. Our first speaker is Stephanie Camacho Van Dyke.
Good evening. In the words of the late Harvey Milk, hope will never be silent. My name is Stephanie Camacho Van Dyke, and I'm the Director of Advocacy and Education at the LGBTQ Center OC. For the past 10 years, I have had the privilege to work closely with the GSAs, the student leaders, and teacher advisors in this district. We know LGBTQ students spend the majority of their time in school, their experiences in the classroom, in the halls, at lunch, and participating in extracurricular activities, which can have a critical impact on their overall health and well-being. The majority of LGBTQ students, however, still experience negative and even hostile school environments. As we have seen in the news across the country, there's a significant amount of discriminatory and hateful legislation directed towards LGBTQ students, which has been introduced and passed. This moment is not the time to be silent when many young people are at risk. On the other hand, for some LGBTQ students, schools offer inclusive and supportive spaces that enable them to realize their full potential. This resolution has been a long time coming. For the Board of Trustees to adopt the Enhancing Supports and Resources for our LGBTQ+ students resolution, it would be a significant step in addressing the needs of Anaheim Union's LGBTQ students. I encourage you to please continue supporting, being visible in your support for these students, as well as the teacher advisors who do so much work every day, every week, doing events like picnics, marches at Long Beach Pride, and having gatherings for students to just be themselves and meet other peers. And to also continue fostering inclusive learning environments for all students in this district. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm going to hand over my gavel to Mr. O'Neill.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker is Bev Barrican. Barrican? I think I said it right.
All right. It's kind of hard for teachers to be on a time limit, but I'll do my best. So good evening, AUHSD Board of Trustees and esteemed AUHSD administrators and Superintendent Matsuda. I've been at this podium before, mostly providing an update to what we are doing at school sites across the district to support our LGBTQ+ youth. I've come to you with stories of marching, picnics, movie nights, and safe spaces. Over the years, and yes, it's been years, I didn't wear glasses before, I think, when I came up here, but now I have to. So many things have changed. We've grown our GSAs to include a district GSA advisory board. We now have an ASTA LGBTQ caucus, and we have many teachers stepping up to the plate to support our LGBTQ youth. As teachers, and specifically for those of us that belong to the LGBTQ+ community, we've stepped out of our own comfort zones to support our students. And unfortunately, sometimes doing the right thing can be difficult, and it's met with adversity. I've heard things like, why would we take kids to that event when talking about taking kids to the Pride Parade? When referring to the many years our students have marched in the Pride Parade. I've heard things like, why would I call that student by any other name other than the name that's on the roll sheet? Why would I use any other pronoun than the one that's on the roll sheet? One of my favorites, and it's been a while, was why would we give up our prized Battle of the Sexes event, not understanding why that could cause problems for students that have to choose sitting on a pink side or a blue side. There has, over the years, been a lot of support from our district. We've gotten support individually from different people. We've had board members march with us in the Pride Parade. We've had administration march with us in the Pride Parade. But there has been something missing in our fight to support all of our students in the AUHSD. And that is a clearly stated, non-wavering statement of support from the AUHSD administration and Board of Trustees. So I contacted Dr. Freed to tell him that our GSA advisory board wanted to put together a plan for supporting our students, and specifically our trans youth. And what I was told was that this was already in the works. So this was great, right? This was fabulous. I was floored. And so what I was introduced to is the resolution that you're going to be asking to adopt tonight. By providing specific resolutions for Pride Week of May 16th to the 20th, 2022. June 2022 is Pride Month. October 2022 is LGBTQ History Month. October 11th as National Coming Out Day. And November 20th as Transgender Day of Remembrance. You will be supporting all students in the AUHSD. And also by encouraging all schools in our district to provide lessons that highlight the many contributions of folks in the LGBTQ+ community. You will set the AUHSD far ahead in protecting the rights of our LGBTQ+ students, and also letting your LGBTQ+ staff and faculty know that we are supported as well. We are not asking for this resolution because it is a nice thing to do. We are asking you to adopt this resolution because it is needed. I can speak for our GSA Advisory Committee when I say we must continue to support our LGBTQ+ students, and we will. But imagine how much more powerful our work becomes when we have the clear support from our district administration and our board. I would like to thank you in advance for your support of this. I told you timers are not good for teachers. I would like to thank you in advance for your support of this resolution that openly states that you support all students in the AUHSD and that you are willing to show them that they all matter and that we will continue to protect them and provide them with the support they, in many cases, desperately need. And I brought you something to see, and some of you have seen this and some of you haven't. So in 2016, we had a very small contingency at the Long Beach Pride Parade, and we were awarded the Stonewall Award. We were probably a contingency of maybe 20 people. And the Stonewall Award is given for those battles won by the LGBTQ plus community and those yet to fight. And this hangs in my classroom. And it's my reminder that there are still battles to fight for our LGBTQ plus youth. So that's why I'm here tonight. And thank you for listening.
Okay, next speaker is, I think it's Shannon Zeimer.
Shannon Zemer.
Shannon Zemer? Well, I got it close. Okay.
Actually really hard to read. I caught that as I was trying to write it. But thank you all for letting me speak. Good evening, trustees and cabinet. I am here tonight once again as an arts advocate for our school district. I am always so proud of what our district does and what it accomplishes. It's really fun to be here on a night of celebration like this, hearing so many amazing stories from this district. I have come before you for a lot of years now, and if you remember, several years ago, I was asking for a full-time VAPA-TOSA and then a VAPA coordinator, which we got, so I want to thank you for Brian Belsky, and I think you all can see how amazing the benefits of having him have been for our district. So I want to say thank you. I work with districts around the county on arts education initiatives, and I always like to hold ours up as such a good example, and I'm really proud to come from this district. Arts right now are the answer to so many of the challenges that our districts are facing, coming out of COVID, staying in COVID, and I'm here tonight to ask you, I handed out a paper that hopefully you'll see, or I had a paper that to pass a resolution. Yes, thank you. And so that's a draft, obviously, to be edited at your pleasure, but to pass a resolution in support of the Arts and Music in Schools, an initiative that's hopefully, it's pretty shoo-in to qualify for the ballot. We gathered over 1 million signatures. Many were collected in this district by our arts boosters organizations, and those signatures are now turned in and getting verified by the counties around the state. So it should qualify for the ballot in November, and I would love it if our district would pass a resolution. So I'm asking that you agendize that for a future meeting so that we can be part of the supporting crew supporting this initiative. If you don't know much about it, I'll just tell you, it gives us an extra 1% of funding directed to the arts. It allows us to have a steady stream of funding so we can plan long-term and make some beneficial changes to our district to add to these amazing programs that we have. It comes without a tax increase because our state has had a very good bonus year of revenue income. And so PTA is really proud to say one of the initiatives that we've always pressed for is Universal TK, and that's going to be funded now ahead of schedule. So when we're seeing these wonderful programs come up, arts advocates said, hey, what about us? And so we put together an initiative, and so I'm really hopeful that it'll allow districts around the state, it'll be a game changer. And this year we have the expanded learning opportunity funding, so we're doing the summer academies and things that you heard about and know about. And so this is like a great time to lead into a steady stream of funding for arts across the district throughout the years, so we can not just have, not that those programs aren't amazing, but have constant amazing programs like that, not just over this year and this summer. And so it's an exciting time to be an arts advocate because so many years I was here saying, hey, can we get this? Or please don't cut us too much. And now it's like, hey, what can we dream of doing with this funding if we get it? It would be so amazing. And so it's really wonderful. I want to also add, I work in another hat, different hat now, as a community at the Community Resource Center in the Buena Park Community Resource Center as a case manager, and I am constantly referring Anaheim and Buena Park clients to the website that your district keeps and to the work that Adela Cruz does, and referring students to reach out to those community schools to attach themselves to resources, and it is life-saving, literally. And so, just thinking of clients, it makes me kind of sad. But I just want to say thank you for the efforts you put into the community schools and for helping our under-resourced students. Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
I had a question.
Yes.
Yeah. Shannon, did you say that the California State PTA is not only recognizing this, but sponsoring this?
No, that was a different, I also am the Create California's Arts Ambassador to Orange County, and I work with the Orange County Department of Ed and Arts OC, and so I have a lot of hats.
Yes.
So it was through Create California that helped
Create,
put that
okay.
together.
All right, thank you for the
Thank you.
clarification.
And this speaker is Juana Reyes.
Because my English is not too good. More when it's more. Yes. Okay, you can. Thank you. Buenas tardes, respetable board.
Good evening, Board of Trustees.
Pues estoy muy emocionada por estar aquí otra vez y más que nada estoy aquí para hablar de la salud mental. Yo soy una mamá voluntaria en la escuela Sycamore.
Here the parents super excited to thank you. She is a parent from Sycamore Junior High.
Y estoy escuchando que ahora el departamento de salud, que va a haber un departamento de salud mental y eso me da mucho gusto, me emociona mucho porque después de la pandemia esto ha sido como una bomba que explotó que no se estaba dando realmente la importancia que debía.
She is here to express her gratefulness because the new Department for Mental Health will be open, and especially now after the pandemic, she is very thankful for this.
Y yo sé que muchos de ustedes saben que las familias han estado pasando un tiempo estamos pasando un tiempo con nuestros hijos que realmente no sabemos qué pasa por sus cabecitas y ellos tratan de seguir estudiando, pero yo sé que al final es imposible porque la salud mental es muy importante.
She just wants to call your attention to how important these resources are for our students because we sometimes don't know what's going on in our teenage minds, and this new innovation is very important.
Muchas gracias por tomar en cuenta la salud mental. Eso es, me da gusto también aquí encontrarme al equipo de Sycamore, que no estábamos de acuerdo de estar aquí juntos, pero me da mucho gusto porque han trabajado duro con los estudiantes.
And she is just extremely thankful for your attention and directing this attention towards the mental health aspect. And she just saw that the entire Sycamore team is here, even though they didn't agree to come together. They are just sticking here and thanking you.
Agradezco también a los padres voluntarios que hemos estado aquí esta noche y agradezco a ustedes otra vez más. Espero verlos otra vez en situaciones así positivas y de más trabajo juntos. Muchas gracias.
And to finalize, she just wants to say thank you to the parents for supporting and you, especially now, and hopefully we can see you soon in another positive note.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Ms. Felix, translator.
Yes, thank you for
Got a
stepping
new
up.
job.
Thank you. Excellent job.
Bravo.
Next speaker is Maritza Bermudez.
I'll take my mask off right here. Good evening, everybody, or good night already because it's late. I'm actually very moved today. There was so much positive energy. I don't think I have ever experienced that much positive energy being in this space today. While you were announcing the new assistant principals, everybody that got the promotions, Dr. Adela Cruz, I was so happy when I heard that news that, she was becoming a director and everything that comes along with that, because mental health is super important, and you've recognized that. So thank you so much. Thank you, all of you, for all the hard work that you've done and for listening to our families, listening to our students, helping them out, because I know we're saving lives with that. Sorry, I always get emotional with that. Because as I've spoken before, it's something personal to me, and in a couple of years, I'll see my child graduate. I'm hopeful that she's going to graduate being, very well from here because of the program's support. I saw Miss Maggie Sebastian here earlier today, and my heart just gets filled when I see her because she has been an amazing, amazing support, not only to her, but to our family. And so that really speaks of the level of commitment that our team here at Anaheim Union has for our kids, and it's just an amazing team. And seeing all the students here, the student ambassadors, Cynthia right now, she just translated, interpreted for Miss Juana, that's just super amazing. I'm just excited to see them go and to, venture out to the world because Anaheim Union High School has prepared them. And, seeing all the recognitions that we've gotten here for all the students, the fact that you guys are supporting the LGBTQ+. I wasn't going to speak on that, but I overheard, I think it was a teacher with her students, and I asked them, what are you speaking on? And they're like, oh, the LGBTQ. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll say a couple words. Again, that just speaks to the diversity and the inclusion that we're having here in this district. I know sometimes we're not aligned to certain things that, that happen here in the district, but I do know that we are moving forward. We're moving forward together. And I'm super excited to hear about the community schools. I'm even losing sleep over it because I'm super excited of what, those grants can bring. Because I'm seeing it at Sycamore, I'm seeing it at Anaheim, and I do appreciate that we're having a forum for the parents at Sycamore Junior High to help with the process of choosing a new principal. That really speaks to the fact that, the community is being part of this process and that we are being part of everything that's happening here. So I think today is just celebration. Again, I'm just moved of everything that I'm hearing and all the great things. My child will be going to Anaheim High School. I am super excited, super hopeful of the great things that are coming, and I'm just looking forward to the great work, and thank you so much. Thank you all of you who are sitting here and everybody who's been part of meetings, steering committees, task force that take their time, to be part of the positive change and everything that is happening. I'm very proud to be a parent here and to send my child to Anaheim Union High School District. Thank you so much.
All right.
Next speaker is Rosalba Pescador. Miss Pescador? There she is.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rosalba Pescador. I'm here to speak on mental health and how thankful I am that we now have this for every school. And being a parent, volunteer, and having gone through this disorder, as you can say, right? I am very, very thankful that we have this for our students and our educators. I do believe mental health awareness is an important issue for our educators who are often the first line of defense for our students. Education professionals have recognized the impact that students' mental health has on learning and achievement, and they realize that there's a great deal that can be done to help students with mental health issues. Teachers and students should be provided with ways to recognize signs of developing mental health problems, and there should be opportunities around the awareness and management of mental health crisis, including the risk of suicide or self-harm. I believe that talking about mental health, we can promote greater acceptance and understanding, which will in turn increase help-seeking behavior. Mental health education in schools is extremely necessary as it can positively impact the lives of our children and youth. I do believe that because teens and students spend most of their day at school, it just makes sense to have mental health awareness and education become part of the curriculum when we empower students with knowledge and encourage, because we will empower students with knowledge and encourage students to seek help. Students will be able to get the help they need. So I am very, very happy to have this in our schools. It will help a lot of students as well as parents into seeking the right help for everyone in the family. So I thank you guys and thank everyone for making this possible. Thank you.
Our last speaker is Max Lopez.
Hi everybody, how's it going? My name is Max Lopez. I'm a research assistant for Children's Cause Orange County and Tustin. We're a partner organization with OCO, which the two women who just spoke are a part of. I want to begin by thanking you all for creating a dedicated department within the district to address the health needs, the mental health needs within the district. Very fitting on Mental Health Awareness Month. Data collected from the CDC shows that there was a 70% increase in high school students who feel a persistent feeling of sadness or hopelessness between 2009 and 2021, and data collected locally shares a similar spike. So this is a really great first step. And I would also like to thank Dr. Cruz specifically for coordinating the universal mental health screenings with the Children's Mental Health Access Collaborative. It's been really helpful to understand the needs of the community and to understand how we could better address those needs. And with that, I would encourage the board to join Children's Cause as well as our partner organizations in asking Orange County Healthcare Agency to approve the current proposal to extend support for Children's Mental Health Collaborative that starts on June 1st of this year. It would increase our ability to understand the mental health needs in the community and hopefully help those students and families out. Once again, thank you all for acknowledging the mental health crisis and for the time to speak today. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to items of business. Item 10.1, resolution number 2021/22-E-25, enhancing supports and resources for LGBTQ plus students.
So moved.
And this is a resolution, so it's a roll call vote. We have a motion and a second.
I'd like to speak to this motion.
Yes.
As an ally for my entire life of the gay community, I am so proud to speak for this resolution. I think that this gives hope to students. I think this giving them a safe space, giving them permission to seek help and to seek, friendly spaces of someone to speak to. We're talking about mental health tonight, and we know that there are a higher percentage of LGBTQ plus students who commit suicide. And I'm really proud of our district. This isn't just being progressive, but this is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. And I'm so proud to support this. I had a really fun activity to do last month. I was in a show with the Orange County Gay Men's Choir. The show wasn't a typical show that they usually do. This was a performance of called Unbreakable, and it highlighted a historical highlight of the gay community, gay and lesbian community, and it gave a historical kind of like time vignettes of really what's happened, even as back as the 1800s. And one of the lines in the show that I was given was to talk about in 1998, a gay college student was tortured and murdered. We all remember Matthew Shepard. And part of the ending of the show was talking about what the gay community needs to do and what allies need to do is to keep moving forward. And there's more work to do. And this is the work that we need to do. This is how we move forward together. Again, like I said, I'm so proud and privileged to be a trustee so that we can move forward together and help enhance the diversity and inclusion. As we all say, all students, this is part of the all. So thank you, and I hope all of you support this resolution.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I reflect back 60 years ago with family members in this situation and how just was not spoken about. It was just, you just sort of swept it underneath the carpet. So nobody really knew what was going on until years later when this subject, as you want to call it, as which is all-inclusive, became more out in the public. So I would like to read the resolution, and this is, whereas the Anaheim Union High School District prides itself on its diversity and inclusiveness, providing safe and welcoming spaces for students, regardless of race, ethnicity, national origin, language, disability status, gender expression or identity, and sexual orientation, and whereas the district has adopted an ethnic studies requirement focused on the interdisciplinary analysis of race, ethnicity, class, gender, sexuality, and language, which through the sharing of ideas, information, opinions, and emotions provides a framework to allow the deconstruction of established systems and their effects on people of color, marginalized and disenfranchised groups, empowering students to address injustices that negatively affect them and their community, and whereas as many as 10.3% of California students in middle and high school identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, intersex, asexual, gender nonconforming, gender fluid, and gender non-binary, LGBTQIA+, and whereas youth identifying as LGBTQIA+, are overrepresented in the populations of youth experiencing homelessness, youth who are the victims of bullying and discrimination, including, among other things, someone trying to convince them to change their sexuality or gender identity, and youth who have attempted or died as a result of suicide. And whereas every school district, including ours, must continue to do more to ensure our LGBTQ youth have the supports and resources they need to achieve academically and feel socially, emotionally, mentally, and physically safe at school. And whereas among other supports, the district has developed a memorandum of understanding with the LGBTQ Center, Orange County, to ensure that all LGBTQIA+ youth and students in the district have access to community resources, education, and social services through various available programs. And now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Anaheim Union High School District celebrates May 16th through the 20th as AUHSD Pride Week, June 2022 as LGBTQIA+ Pride Month, October 2022 as LGBT History Month, October 11th as National Coming Out Day, and November 20th as Transgender Day of Remembrance to honor the many achievements and contributions of the LGBTQIA+ community. And be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees encourages all schools to incorporate lessons on the LGBTQIA+ community in instruction and hold other commemorative activities in honor of AUHSD Pride Week in May and LGBTQ History Month in October 2022, as well as during the above-mentioned commemoration days. The foregoing resolution was passed.
And I will
There we
take
go. And now we need to take a vote.
I'll take the vote. I didn't get to say on this one, but I just wanted to concur with all my colleagues. I know I caught the tail end of Anne Marie and then Brian O'Neill. But I think it's very important that we stand up as a district. And I think we had many speakers who mentioned how AUHSD has taken the lead. And I firmly believe that we are setting the bar high for all other districts to do what they need to do. So I concur, and let me call for the vote. So it's a roll call vote.
call.
I'll start off with.
Jabbar,
yeah,
I
I'm
would
sorry.
like to speak to this if I may, because last month I spoke about change and how in my lifetime that I've experienced so much change, from telephone operators to you call anywhere all over the world. And this represents change that I'm experiencing in my own life. I happen to have grown up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and San Francisco was a very popular place for gay people to live. And they had their own communities, such as it was 60 years ago, and you mentioned 60 years ago, and I was a young adult. And I knew some of these people because of my life, just connecting with them in education and business. And I knew how they felt because they shared it with me. And when I was in college, my two brothers each had a child. And my one niece, Kathy, was named after me. She's a lobbyist in Sacramento. And my nephew is born in the Bay Area, and he is a nurse anesthetist and has had a long-time companion. And they're now 61 and 62. And about 35 years ago, they called me and asked me if they could come down to visit in Anaheim. And the purpose was they wanted me to know that they were gay. And I said, "You've always been good people. I know you'll continue to be good people. You are loved, and it's hard for you because I understand in some of the family that it hasn't been well accepted, and they think you're crazy, but it's not something you choose to do in life." And all I can say is that through my life experience, I never could have imagined this kind of change. It would never have happened when I was your age. And this is, to me, one of the benefits of being a human being and being on this planet and enjoying and trying to be a good person. So I'm grateful for it, quite frankly. I wish it had been done years and years ago.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Remind me, did we have a motion? Okay, we have a motion and a second. And there's a roll call vote. Trustee Piercy?
Aye.
Trustee Randall Trejo?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee O'Neill?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so we're going to 10.2, which is a resolution 2021//2022-HR-08, Classified School Employee Week.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and this is a roll call vote. I will have Trustee Piercy,
Aye.
Trustee Randall Trejo,
Proud to vote aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee O'Neill?
Aye.
And I proudly vote aye as well, and motion passes unanimously.
You probably vote aye.
Proudly, oh, I said proudly, I'm sorry.
Probably, but that's
I'm
okay.
sorry. It's been a long night for me running from meeting to meeting, sorry. Proudly. All right, so we're going to educational and CSCA members, you need to know I proudly vote for this. All right, so educational services, 10.3, school-sponsored student organization. This is an action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second, and our student ambassador gets to vote as well.
Could I also add
Sure.
on here, I'm so glad that we have raising student voice and participation from
Yes.
Savannah High School, so it's good to see that on the agenda, so thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank
And
you,
I just
Abdullah.
wanted to point out
Sure.
too, the 10.3.2, the Magna mode. I just think our students are incredible, and it's another opportunity for our students to really show diversity and inclusion with this club. And I'm so proud of them for thinking outside the box on this one.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 10.4, revised board policy 8900, 5145.3, non-discrimination harassment, first reading. This is an information item. Any questions or concerns? Seeing none, moving to 10.5, revised board policy 7610, physical education activity, first and final reading, action item.
So moved.
I
Second?
have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 10.6, Board Policy 91-300 and 91-300 AR, Parent and Family Engagement, first and final reading, action item.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 10.7, Parent and Family Engagement Policies, Ball Junior High School, Anaheim High School, and Savannah High School, action item.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Just maybe explain, because it was one of our questions,
Yeah.
why they're separate.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's because it's by federal law, we need to have three different policies for each of the schools, although we have a district policy, correct? All right, perfect. Thank you very much, and all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, 10.8, Agreement Enabling Technologies Corp. of Florida, action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions?
Nope.
Seeing none?
So
go ahead.
fast.
Okay.
The likelihood that we're going to get this funds from Microsoft, the likelihood?
This agreement says yes, we have.
Yes? All right. Good.
All right. All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 10.9, public hearing disclosure of collective bargaining agreement with CSEA. It's an information item and a public hearing. So I'm going to open public hearing. Seeing nobody rushing to speak, I close public hearing. And then I go to the second item, 10.10, adoption of the 2021-2022 collective bargaining agreement with CSCA.
So moved.
That's pending notification by unit members of CSCA, provided their ratification. Perfect.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And 10.11, declaration of need for fully qualified educators, action item.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, Superintendent's Office, Superintendent Contract and Compensation.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, and open for
Yeah,
discussion.
Mr. Jabbar?
Yep.
Going back to a year ago, probably a year ago this month, at that time, Mr. Matsuda's salary was, according to the information we had, he was 15th down in the county, and that's just Orange County. And at that time, we felt that he should be brought up, but it was our feeling that we're not trying to make him, or I should pay any superintendent at the top of the scale, but we want him or her to be paid appropriately for what they're doing for our district. as best as we can. And at that time, we gave him a 6% raise. That 6% raise, today, he was at 15th. Now he's all the way up to 12th. Excuse me, 16th. So he
was at 16th?
He actually, right now, is 16th in ranking in the county. We had brought him up to 15th. But because other people in the county have come up, he has dropped down some. As I said, I'm not trying to pay the superintendent the highest in the area, but I think we need to make provide him a reasonable increase, showing our feeling of his worth. And with that said, I am recommending that we give him another 6% raise, which would bring him up to 12th in the district, 12th in the county, excuse me, amongst his peers. He is not being overcompensated. In fact, if we disregard the top 5 districts, this increase would still bring him in at $44,000 under the top superintendent in the county. And I think it's very fair to increase it and bring our superintendent up to a more in line with his peers.
Okay, Mr.
So I have a motion?
Well, I have a question.
Oh,
sure.
On what you're saying it brings him up to the 12th. Now, you're using that number, but just for the benefit of those listening, out of how many school districts?
Out of,
30.
Let's see, 16,
that gives
17,
him
18,
kind of an
19, 20,
idea of
21,
whether
22,
it's
23,
median
24,
or-
25, 26, 27, 28 school
Okay.
districts. Yeah.
So that shows it's basically right in the middle.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm saying
sorry,
I
sure.
wanted,
Yeah, I
you're
can-
using that number, but not showing
Yeah,
where
thank
it
you
falls.
for that. That's a good
Okay.
point. Yeah.
So I have a motion on the floor.
So I was just going to say, I remember our discussion, and we were going to bring it back
So
late,
let me
couple
ask a
months,
question. When
and
we have a
never-
motion on the floor, we probably need a
we-
second in order
we
to
had
discuss.
We have a motion to talk about it.
Okay, perfect. All right.
So I agree with my colleague, and we were going to bring this back a couple months ago, and year ago, a couple months, and we never did. I like what you're saying to compensate and show. I think I would like to do more.
Yep.
But we have to, be considerate of the budget, and we have to be considerate of all of the things that are coming before us. I thank you for your analysis, because that just to me solidifies, I think, where he should have been a long time ago. We're a huge district, and we have huge responsibilities, where some other districts, that have less schools, and their superintendents are being compensated in that, to me, egregious matter. You've served us well. We have given you glowing reports year after year after year. Each and every one of us can speak to at least 10 qualifiers of how we are an excellent district. And they're not small things. It's changing. Our students are speaking and quantifying our district. I'm hearing it in our celebrations of success for ROP. Those students are speaking to our district initiatives. Of course, our ambassadors are doing it eloquently. So we are a progressive, changing game changer, I think, in the county. The county looks to us to make these changes. And the last couple of years during the pandemic, we were so far away and ahead, and I know our teachers felt that strain, but we were far and away ahead because we were positioned to, it's hard to say this like kind of flippant, but we were positioned to, to get through a pandemic. I mean, what district can say something like that? My colleagues across the county were struggling. And they struggled with their teachers, they struggled with their classified employees, they struggled with their parents. And we did not have that. We struggled with everyone with the pandemic, but we did not have all of that tremendous strain that my colleagues did. So on that alone, on the qualifiers that I know each and every one of us can speak to, I think 6% is due to our superintendent. I would like to give more, but to be responsible, 6%. So thank you for that.
Mr. Jabbar, if I may, once we get there, after everyone has an opportunity to comment, if we can clarify the motion, I did want to just draw to attention, this is compensation and benefits, so I just want to make sure that everyone is aware of what the comprehensive discussion is about, and then make sure we're clear about the motion that we make at the end.
Right, so I think the benefits are already prescribed in the contract.
Yes.
And
So the 6% would be based upon his salary.
okay, all right, so I'll let Kathy. Well, actually, I should have started from there, so I think you already spoke, right?
Go to
Okay.
Anna first. I'll speak after.
No, I think Anna, okay, go ahead.
I don't have anything additional to say. I think I'm in agreement with what Mr. O'Neill has, offered, and we are a very big district, and I think that Mike is doing a great job. He works hard, I know that. He puts a lot of time in and a lot of thought, and we are making all kinds of inroads in the educational community because of what we are doing. And it starts with him and all his ideas. He's got them left and right, so. Let's reward him, and I'm in favor of the raise. Not a lot of words. I mean, I think it's just, I agree with him and everybody else, so.
Kathy?
Change. One of the things that I've been so concerned over the years, because the trend had been to get rid of career technology, wood shop, metal, etc. And that was a reality when I came on this board. And I am so grateful through ROP and through our superintendent that that is now becoming a real reality, that we face that not all kids are going to go to college or want to go to college, but would love many other pathways that we're trying to give them that experience. But to encapsulate my feeling is that I've said to my husband numerous times over the last 2+ years, with this COVID and the mental health and the reports we get on Fridays and the report that the superintendent gives us, my comment has been that if the public knew what education was taxed with today, I can't think of a better word, not taxed, but confronted with mental health and the effect on every entity within our system, I just say very bluntly, they'd throw up. And I know from the reality of what our superintendent has done, his care, his love for the people in this district, having taught here in this district, and I quite frankly think that everybody ought to be given $1 million, because nobody understands what everybody else is going through in their work life. And it slops over to your physical life, and then your family life, and your physical life. And I don't know how this is ever going to be resolved because of this COVID, but I think that Mike has deserved and earned everything that we offer him. And with great gratitude, I say openly to people, I love everyone that Mike works with. He has got a glossary of wonderful human beings working with him who have integrity, honesty, and I'm just grateful. So.
And speaking to that, thank you for letting me speak one more time. And speaking to the integrity and honesty, humility, Michael Matsuda, when he accepted the position of superintendent, I want people to know, usually when you go to, interview for a job, the salary's there, it's stated, you know what it's going to be, it's expected. He did not get that salary. He accepted the job at a lower rate because he wanted to work here. He wanted to do this job. And he has not asked for raises. So I just want anybody out there who, may have qualms about this or thoughts about it, just know that you have a superintendent who is humble, and he is gracious, and is doing this job with his heart. So.
All right. Well, everybody has said, I got little left to say, but no, I think I can add more. I want to emphasize that fact, Anne Marie, thank you for bringing that up, in terms of when he actually took the job, he was brought in at the bottom level, or the lowest pay that we could pay, and I know, just comparing that to many of our feeder districts who have very small number of students compared to our district, and those superintendents, sorry to say, were getting paid more than Anaheim Union High School District Superintendent Mike Matsuda. But the work that he has done in terms of changing the course of Anaheim Union High School District, and actually taking in not only statewide recognition, but also national recognition. And the key is, for me, every single grant opportunity that we've had and we've applied for, he has masterminded it, and he's actually gone behind those dollars to the point where we've not only been successful, we've seen the fruits of labor in terms of our district, doing work with those grant funding. So besides everything that each and every board member said, I think we have a treasure. I would love to give more, but I see that we have a consensus from the board just by compensation. So I will go ahead and.
We could vote that, or not vote on that, table it and ask for more. But that's.
Okay, so here's my rationale for it. I think he is excelled in what we as a district would like to see our district be. And I will modify that, and I will probably, I will add another 1% for it. I'm proposing that we give a 7% increase, and I think that's in line with, I was just trying to do the calculation based on what was on this paper that you have done, right? And, I hope I got the numbers right, but I think that will put him a little bit above the median, and I think that's it's warranted with the work that the leadership that he has done, even through the pandemic, when all the other districts were, I shouldn't say that, when all these other districts were having challenges. I think we built a great relationship with not only our union, but also parents, to the point where navigating that and being successful enough to open up our schools back again, all that makes a big difference. And I'm not the one to, and I'm very frugal with taxpayer money, but at the same time, we got to take a look at the future of making sure that if and when the superintendent leaves, we need a compensation which shows other attractive candidates, internal or external, who are willing to look at it and say that, look, you know what, it's a great district, but maybe that pay is not good for me and not attract those great candidates. So I want to be in a position to put our district at that level, and that's why I'm proposing a 7%.
Well, then what you have to do is ask for a second.
I'm asking for,
If there's no second, then it's tabled.
Yep.
And we make
So-
a new one. So that's up to the board.
yes, so I'll propose that we do a 7%.
No, you have to ask for a second.
Well, I'll ask for a second.
I'll second that.
Okay, now my 6% is up, correct?
Is that right?
Parliamentarian? Well.
Well, that's why I'm
If you have a motion on the table, what I would generally expect would be a motion to amend the motion by increasing an additional 7.
And
We'd
that's why I
vote on
was-
the
yeah.
amendment, and then if that fails, it would go back to the original motion.
And that's what because that's why I was trying to figure out, we have a discussion motion on the table, and then Mr. O'Neill proposed 6%.
I believe he actually moved 6%.
I moved with 6%.
Okay, he moved 6%. And
Now we've
did
had
we
a
get a second?
Now we
That's
have a second.
for the 6%?
Yes, for the 6%.
For the 6%. Okay, so we have a second for the 6%.
Now you want to amend that.
Now I'm going to amend that to include 7%, or modify it to 7%. So now I'm asking for a second.
I will second the amendment.
I have a second. So that's now the,
That's the amendment. If that passes, then you have to actually vote on
right,
that.
so that's the amendment. So we're voting on the amendment now.
Correct.
So the amendment is to make it 7%. So I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Sounds
so
like 5-0.
5-0 it is. So we have, and now a motion with the amended motion of 7%. So the motion on the table right now is to propose a 7% increase for compensation for the superintendent.
Wait a minute.
I thought we just voted on.
No, we didn't vote on it.
We voted on the
We
amendment.
voted on the amendment. Now we have the
The
actual motion on the table,
Okay.
which basically is this amended 7% motion.
Okay, I
So
second
we have to
that.
vote on the same thing twice? We have to
The-
vote to have an amendment?
Right.
Yes,
Okay, so now the 6% is off and
Yep.
gone?
correct.
Okay.
Second.
So we have a motion on the table. We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion, and I vote aye. Motion passes unanimously, and that's a 7% increase for compensation.
I expect
and
more
benefits.
work.
Yeah, yeah. Very well said.
All right, Mike, we expect you to be 24 hours on call, and not like you're not right now, but okay. All right, so 10.13, we're going employment agreement for assistant superintendents and district council.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. 10.14, trustee monthly compensation.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes unanimously. We're at consent calendar now. Any items to be pulled?
Yes, 11, 11Y, and 1112.
Anybody else?
Move the balance.
Second?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I think I had made a comment on.
Too late.
11,
Okay.
11:22.
11:20?
11.22.
Okay.
Pull.
All right, so we have 3 items pulled. Can I entertain a motion for the
Move the
balance?
balance.
We have a
Second.
motion for the balance.
Second?
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Now, pull 11.11.y and 11.12 both together.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions?
I should pull back my aye, and it's abstain aye.
Okay. Motion passes 4-0-1. Okay, in 11.22.
So moved?
Second.
Motion, we have a motion and a second. And go ahead, Ms. Randall Trejo.
Okay, sorry, my chicken scratch over here. I wanted to ask about extending the training to our safety officers and some key classified folks, and to ask for board members to attend some trainings.
I'm assuming you're referring to the implicit bias in circles that OCHR does?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
As an invitation, not that we
Yes.
need it, but it's an invitation.
Yes, as an
okay.
invitation. As an invitation.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, anybody else? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. And now we go to Superintendent and Staff Report.
I have a quick report. First of all, I just want to, it's a celebration. I know Amanda's I think she's behind the podium. I can't see her.
She's hiding.
She's hiding. But as you know, we're the first public school, I think K-12 district that entered into a partnership with Google, with the Google certificates. And we actually had our first student complete one of the Google certificates, Ashley from CVA. And we believe she is probably one of the first, if not the first, student in the nation to complete an embedded Google certificate, because other districts aren't doing this work.
What's the specific?
It's in project management.
Okay.
So, and just so you know, on Monday, the Google team, and I believe the head of Google for this initiative, Lisa Galver, is going to be joining us to meet with our team to talk more about this work and how we continue to grow it and support our students moving forward. So just a celebration, wanted you to be aware of. It's a very, very cool accomplishment, something I know we're really proud of. And Amanda's been leading that work with our teachers and our students, so
And
excited.
Amanda, how many hours did it take for her to accomplish that?
It takes about 10 to 15 hours a week for about 6 months.
Oh, that long, okay.
It's really time-intensive.
Wow.
Great, super.
And you mentioned she's a ninth grader?
Ninth grader at CVA.
Wow, okay.
Okay,
Ninth grader?
wow,
And when
nice.
Google comes on Monday, Amanda, I think that 7 students?
Yeah, we have 7 students that will be coming to speak with the Google team. We have 4 coming from Kennedy who are working on project management, and 3 or 4 coming from Savannah who are doing data analytics. And we actually have a student from Savannah who can't join us, but we're trying to get a video testimonial because she has actually chosen to change her college major because of the work she did in data analytics, and it's kind of changed her trajectory. And so a really very inspiring story that we want to try to capture.
Is there any reason why it sounds like 5 students now have chosen project management? Is that like a base?
No, so the way we implemented our certificates this year is that we found teachers that were willing to try to embed it within their classroom instruction, and so they chose the certificate they thought would pair best with their content. And so, so those particular teachers had offered that certificate, but we have certificates across the district in IT support, automation with Python, like coding, data analytics, and project management. And we're looking for ways to expand that, and we have a few plans for next year to scale it. But that's what, it's based on teacher connection at this point.
Thank you.
That's why this meeting on Monday is so important, because we're going to get feedback from the teachers and the students in terms of what worked, but what we can do differently to make it work for our kids. Just wanted to share that celebration.
Awesome celebration. Congratulations to our student, too.
That's
I
great.
would love to be there on Monday, let me know.
Okay. We'll see.
All right.
No report.
No report. No report. No report. Mr. Cologne, no report. All right, we'll go to our Board of Trustees report. Ms. Piercy.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. This past month, one of the first things I did was I did attend the memorial for Jackie Brock, and it was very well attended, and then they had a gathering afterwards, so that was nice that it was handled like that. I attended the insurance committee meeting, and then the soapbox speeches at Loera. That was really interesting, very well done. It's amazing what some of these kids do. And then we made the awards, and it was, the only problem was it was a little cool night, and I really felt bad for the club that was outside trying to sell bobas and
Yeah.
egg rolls. So I had to go buy a dozen of them before on my way home, so they'd have something, you know, just because, I mean, all these bobas were sitting out there, and it was just, and there was no intermission. There was supposed to be an intermission, and there wasn't, so I felt bad for
It
them.
was VSA.
Huh?
So it was VSA.
VSA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I attended the Teacher of the Year at the Disneyland Hotel, and that was really well done. For covering 2 years, they covered it for 2021 and 21-22. What do you mean? It was long, yes, but she's laughing, but it was well done. And I was wondering, because some of the, a couple of the teachers had asked me beforehand, how are they going to do this? And I said, well, they used to have everybody come up on stage. I said, I don't know if they're going to do the same thing, and luckily they didn't, because we still ran over till like 10:30, and it was supposed to be to 9:30, I think, so. But it was nice to, that they acknowledged the teachers and all. And, but I have to say this, though. We have been so successful in all these previous years that we always have a semifinalist or a finalist, not a semi, but one of the two. And we always usually, and the credit union usually has a special cocktail hour beforehand. They didn't have that this year. Or they did. Wait a minute. We didn't have any finalists. So I didn't get an invitation. I was bummed. No.
Next year we have two.
No, next year.
Next year we have two.
We're going to have to, okay.
Miss Piercy wants a finalist so she could attend cocktail hour.
Right, that's always, I enjoy that because I get to see a lot of these people who used to be in Anaheim that are in other school districts now. Several of our principals have moved to different districts, and so you get to see them, and it's a nice time to, chit-chat. And then I went to the PTA Honorary Service Awards, which was held on a Tuesday evening, I think, or was it Wednesday evening? Anyway, it was in the evening at Cypress High School, and they chose to have it outside because of concerns, I guess, for COVID inside. But it got a little chilly, but it was very nicely done. They had a nice caterer, even though the caterer canceled on them 2 weeks before the event, and then she had to kind of do a bunch of stuff. But I did have to leave early because I was starting to freeze. So, and I had a jacket. It was cold. Yes, it was. And then I went to the Catella Green Awards, and very well done. This was for the entire state. They were passing out, awards for the whole state. We thought at first it was just going to be Catella, but no, it ended up being, there were schools from all the way up and down the state. I was amazed. Rialto
Yes.
got about 6 or 7
Seems at least
awards.
6 awards, yeah.
Yeah. So that school district has really gone green, and their awards were like on top of awards, because they'd won awards before, and they were getting another awards, sort of like adding to it. And I thought, wow, that's really something. But we're doing good. We started with Catella, and we can do more stuff. And I think Magnolia might be the next one, huh? So anyway, and that is about what I did this month so far.
Thank you, Ms. Piercy. Ms. Randall-Trejo?
So just to piggyback on that, so I think those awards were not all gold. We got a gold award. We got the top award. Those were bronze and silvers that those.
Oh, yeah,
that
right. They
so-
weren't, no, yeah.
So we'll just brag about our gold award. But from my understanding, the staff had only a week to prepare for that event. Yes. We didn't know that we were hosting all of those. So they had only about a week to prepare, and it was over and above what I was expecting, and just so proud. And Mike and I were in the parking lot chit-chatting as people were leaving, and everybody was leaving with smiles and celebration. They loved our teachers. They loved our students, the tours. They loved what we were doing there, and the food. It was just amazing.
Yeah, and that
everybody
was really
did.
neat. The students planned the menu for the little lunch boxes and produced it all in the culinary arts. I failed to mention that because it was so nice the way they set everything up. They had all the cheerleaders and the song kids at the gate to greet everybody. They had a nice setup in front of the auditorium of tables outside, and they had the jazz band playing on the inside beforehand. They really did an excellent job. And then after the awards, they took us on tours and toured us through the garden and around through the, what did we call the green?
Our drops program.
The drops program, and showed us how to test for pH factor or acidity. I mean, just really well done.
So kudos to our staff.
Yeah,
Staff over there and students, and just from when you entered till you exited, it was just a really great celebration.
done.
Yes, awesome job. I attended the OCSBA and AXA joint dinner. We, as the organization, CSBA for the Orange County Region 15, honored Dr. Clayton Chow and Alma Harris, and they both didn't know that they were getting the award. They thought each other were getting the award. And I've never seen two, most humble acceptance speeches, and just so honored to be acknowledged, and then so, generous with their praise of each other. Going through this pandemic, Orange County, Dr. Clayton Chow, if you don't know, Director of Health Services.
Healthcare agency.
Healthcare agency. The person before him, death threats, so I know he had death threats during the pandemic, but was firm in his resolve to help Orange County get through the pandemic, and just such a humble, gracious man. He holds a PhD and a doctorate. He's a psychologist and doctor of education, which is just amazing. Who knew that about him? But, not only leading the county, but actually during the pandemic, holding meetings with the two districts or cities that had the most, who were most affected, Santa Ana and Anaheim. And I mean, the fact that he thought to do that was just amazing, that he needed to hear from us and how we were doing and what we could ask of him. So just so deserving of this award. And he mentioned that Orange County was the first county in the nation to give vaccinations for 65 and above. He started that. And then the state initiated that. So just a tremendous human being to know. And then Alma Harris, we all know what he's experiencing. And so it was just really a memorable evening to be there and witness that. So grateful to those two. Of course, the soapbox speeches were tremendous. I'm so proud of the teachers that are helping our students with those speeches, but the ideas and the visions and the topics of our students was so broad and so humane. They were talking about refugees. They were talking about just a number of topics that we can be so proud of. Of course, our ROP Celebration of Success, Al and I were there to honor our two students, and Al and I were actually fighting over one of our students. Both of them were tremendous, but one of them was she just took our heart away. She interviewed so well. She was a culinary student, and she is just going to take the world by storm. We're going to remember her. So Al and I were fighting over meeting her, but we actually got to meet her before the ceremony. So we were so proud. And the Teacher of the Year celebration was amazing, as usual. And yes, it was long. We usually get out right when the fireworks are happening, so we missed the fireworks, but it was a great celebration to be a part of, and honoring. I'm so glad that they were able to honor the 21 and 22 Teachers of the Year. And SEMA Palooza, over the top. oh my goodness. From start to finish, congratulations to Jackie Counts. This was her vision, her idea, and boy, it was paloozoing. That's a word. It was really exciting. I felt like there was just a buzz on Magnolia's campus, and parents were just amazed. They were busing our students from Anaheim Elementary, 6th grade students, to come over there, which I thought was a great idea, perfect age. Our students were performing, our ambassadors were ambassading, and it was just a celebration of the tremendous work of our teachers and our students, and I was just so proud to see that. Anaheim Collaborative.
Madam Chair, I think Mike wants
Oh,
to say.
go
Real
ahead.
quickly, Steamapalooza, though, shout out to Amy Kwan and her team
Yes,
for
yes.
implementing this year. So
Yes,
great
yes.
job.
Yes, absolutely. Anaheim Collaborative. I had to come to Manuel's last meeting. I wanted to support him. Your speech was, there wasn't a dry eye in the building. It showed just how much you love our district, just how hard you've worked. Your story about the band, that when you first started the meetings, there was a lot of shouting. There was a lot of, there was a lot of disagreement, a lot of pushback. But in the end, I think Anaheim Union came out a winner because of you and your hard work, your dedication to our students. And at the end, or during the introductions, a lot of our partners in the Anaheim Collaborative honored Manuel. And boy, they love him, if not more, or just as much as we do. And they are so grateful. It just shows the dedication that you have for our district, and we're sure going to miss you. I miss you. Is this your last meeting with us, by the way? We have one more?
Two more, really.
Two more, okay. Good, okay. I don't have to think about that yet. Two more meetings, all right. So, but it was amazing to hear how you've inspired, and even tonight we heard another one of your mentees. But for you to introduce, she's the vice chair of Cal State Fullerton, vice president of Cal State Fullerton, and for you to announce her, and then for her to quantify you as your teacher, and how you mentored her is just a testament of your humanity, your kindness, your love of students, and I know you were so proud of her, and we're all proud of you. So, thank you. That's my report.
Ms. Smith?
Okie dokie. CBS 11 o'clock news last Saturday showed a celebration of Earth Day, and my oh my, there were 5 guys from Auxford Academy. And Charles Pham, Ethan Pham, and Toy Deep, D-I-E-P. And apparently for this project, they decided that they wanted to do a plastic collection of toxic pollution at Huntington Beach. So they were filmed down there and interviewed and spoke about it. And they said that some of their classmates had decided to work on deforestation and forest fires. So I don't know if you knew about that, but it was a delightful surprise and see them cleaning up the beach. We all know how devastating that is. And the Green Ribbon Award ceremony at Catella was remarkable. And the greeting by all of the pom-pom gals when we walked in from the parking lot, and beautiful ceremony and Rialto. I was just almost overwhelmed with all of their projects, but it's just great information for other districts. And the insurance committee went on, and student discipline was discontinued. So, not discontinued, but canceled. So that's it. Thank you.
Student discipline was not discontinued. We were discontinued the meeting, or this is a committee, right?
No more discipline.
No, okay. Or make sure that we highlight that. Okay.
We're good, huh? All right.
Mr. O'Neill.
All right, short and sweet. Years of service via distance was very enjoyable, even though it would have been better to be in person, but still, you did a good job.
Next year.
Every student succeeds. Ms. Percy and I went to that was over in Cyprus, and they recognize students that have some challenges in the Cyprus School District. So that was a real pleasure to be there. The soapbox speeches were just phenomenal. It's amazing what our students can do, the way they present themselves, came across. Everybody did a great job, phenomenal job in their abilities. Kennedy had an every 15-minute program over 2 days, and you probably know what every 15 minutes is. It used to be where every 15 minutes somebody in the U.S. is killed from alcohol-related injury. Well, over the years, it has now moved to every 55 minutes because of education, and I'm sure education of seat belts and hopefully the programs in schools, minimizing the alcohol use, et cetera, and teenagers. So that was very good to hear. Still a long ways to go. I was able to log into the cybersecurity webinar, but I had to log out after only a few minutes because I had to go, all of a sudden had to go take care of 2 grandsons. It was one of those, Grandpa, get over here. So, okay, click. Steamapalooza, as people said, it was fantastic. The number of people there were actually amazing, more than I've ever seen there before. It was very crowded, very exciting. You could see the excitement, feel the excitement in the air there. I loved seeing the garden and the progression it's making. So, I'm looking forward to coming back after the summer break and seeing what that area is going to look like as it matures during the next period of time. Sister City Commission meeting.
I didn't make it.
I know you didn't. It was 10 minutes, 15 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
Shortest one I've ever attended. I barely got there just in time to make the quorum so that we could approve something, and then it was like, it's over? So, yeah, it was very quick. So we didn't get too much accomplished. But Teacher of the Year awards were always amazing to see, and as people said, it was over the 2 years, but it was very quick, comparatively speaking. If it had gone actually the normal 2 years, it would have been, we would have just gotten out, I think. The PTA HSA awards at Cyprus, as it was mentioned, it was cold, and I wasn't prepared. I was there in a short sleeve shirt, not thinking that it was going to be outside, and it was freezing. I finally had to go out to the car and get out my emergency sweatshirt. Always carry emergency clothes with you, and you never know what's going to happen. I actually had 2 sweatshirts in there, but I only put on one.
Always the Boy Scout.
It was still cold.
Brian, always the Boy Scout.
Yeah, you bet. I'm still a Boy Scout leader after 34 years. Yeah, still am. Never lose that. The Green Ribbon Awards was fantastic, seeing what everybody was doing, all the recognition they were getting. And then this last Saturday, I attended it's the first La Palma Festival in Nations, which was a parade, and then a event in the park where they have rides and booths and all that for the locals, or anybody that could have been there. Didn't have to be local. So that was fun. It was shorter than it used to be when it was well, I forget what it was called, La Palma Days, which used to be on Veterans Day weekend. So it's a different concept since the COVID is now over. And that's my report, but I just want to give people an education. This is a personal thing that just happened to me recently, and it was a plumbing issue. And I had called a plumber out because I couldn't resolve the problem myself. I had got to a point and I just couldn't go any further. So I called out some professional plumbers, and as soon as they walked in the door, I almost knew where they were going. And when they left, I was coming to the last board meeting, our special board meeting. So I was in my shirt tie, so they knew I had to leave. They couldn't stand there and talk to me. And they threw out a number of $10,000 to $12,000 to resolve this plumbing issue. And I looked at them and I says, And I walked out, and they said, well, we'll send you the quote. And I said, great. So I happened to have a plumbing friend of mine that had moved, and they were living down near Lake Elsinore. I called him on the phone, and he says, they are so unethical. He says, they give plumbers a bad name. And he says, I'll be there on Saturday, which is a couple of days. So he came over to my house on his own time, basically. And he didn't do it for free, but he gave me, he had to come back the second Saturday. The whole job was under $300.
Jeez.
Now, I got to thinking, if these guys had come to, say, my mother-in-law's house or some other elderly person's house and threw out that number, they'd probably say, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But okay, we'll do it. They would have walked away with murder, almost. So whenever you get in a situation where these numbers are ridiculous, don't just jump and say, oh my God, okay, I'll do it. Always get second and third and fourth quotes, no matter what the emergency is, even if you have to go next door and use the bathroom. Just, I could have thrown away a whole lot of money. So just words to the wise.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. O'Neill. I think that was good advice. Thank you for that. I know we discussed it last time when you came to the meeting as well. All right, well, thank you very much. I thank you for reminding me of the years of service. I actually didn't put it on my list here, but that was great. Thank you, Brad, for even keeping it entertaining. I know I had to stay there only for a little bit because I had to run out to another meeting, but thank you for doing that. Hopefully, we'll do that next year in person. And then ROP celebration, I know Anne Marie mentioned it. The student, I'm trying to recollect her name right now. She's a Catala student, culinary arts student. She works for, on a part-time, she works for Porto's Bakery. And I'll tell you, she is going to wow our district in a few years. She is amazing. I stopped by the LCAP meetings that we had. Again, thank you very much for giving the opportunity to speak, but it was great to see all of our parents and our student leaders especially. They were all advocating for mental health, so that was great. Green Ribbon, again, I think it's key for us. I want to thank Roxana Hernandez and her team there. I didn't know until the day that it was actually it was for the entire state, and then they did a fantastic job. Nobody would have known that it was less than 10 days of preparation. Everybody that I spoke to, including Supervisor Doug Chafee, was amazed at the way that our students not only did the tour, but we got personal box lunches, so that was great, great touch. So please pass that on. Great work from the team, and they made us look good. Teacher of the Year was awesome. I think, again, culminating 2 years, that was awesome there. Steamapalooza, what can I say? I've had neighbors who didn't have kids in the district who went there because their cousins heard of it and wanted to join and see, and they were singing the praises of AUHSD. And so kudos to Jackie for actually coming up with the idea, and Amy Kwan and team for really putting on an amazing show, and the Magnolia team as well. I think they all did a fantastic job of hosting it. This is public education. I think that's what we do, is to showcase what we are doing in the entire district, so that way people know that public education is still alive and well, and we're doing great work. So I was amazing.
Also, Patty, for having the facilities that were amazing, and the groundskeepers for
Yep,
the
everybody.
flowers were in bloom. It was
all,
beautiful.
all around.
All
I was particularly amazed at, I don't know if anybody got the opportunity to go to the entrepreneur section. We had a student from Anaheim High School who was doing jewelry, and she just had her 6,000 sale online. So these are our students who are being so effective. And then I was walking towards another student, another booth, where they were creating keyboards for gaming, and they were selling it for $150, and I was asking how much the parts were, and they like bought it for like some $15 or $20 online, and they were creating it, custom making it, right? So I want to congratulate our teachers for actually really giving that ideas to our students. It was nice to see our team out there full force. Soapbox, again, amazing students and amazing topics. We didn't give the topics, right? They picked the topics. And it was amazing to see that our students would pick topics which were not only topical, but so deep. I mean, the student who actually, Dale, student who won the first place and spoke about refugees. And she called to action, right? Adults are putting us in this position, and it was an amazing speech. So I want to highlight that. Anaheim Collaborative, what can I say? We are all going to miss you, Manuel. I'm going to miss my twin brother from the district. Yeah, so we got to make appearance. Well, I'm leaving too, so I guess it's timely. Yeah, all right, that's all good. We'll come back. We'll charge the district for getting our appearance. All right, let's go. All right. Anaheim High School, Coffee with Principal. First time we were back after the pandemic, the first time in person, so that was amazing. We had a packed house there, and parents were very enthused to come back on campus, so that was great. I also attended Anaheim High School just last Tuesday. We had students who actually but they were circulating a petition regarding the gym and how hot the gym was. I'm glad that I spoke to Nancy and Ian to get some information. We spoke to the students, kind of talked to them about ventilation, and that they're in line to get their ventilation fixed at the gym. They were happy about it, but they also wanted to make sure that it happened soon. So I'm bringing the message to you and the rest of the district. I know they're going to be here, hopefully, to speak. They amaze me, too, like the Cypress students who came last board meeting. They actually put together this thick of a report with testimony and what it does to health and all that, and it was great. So I told them, you know what, take the opportunity to come and wow our board and put some pressure on Nancy so that we could get that done soon. So we're going to get that done there. And then I also stopped by, part of those students, then another teacher emailed me and said, look, we had some more students who wanted to speak to you about urinals. So I'm going to be coming to you about that in a few days, but I'm actually going to meet those students on Monday, so they wanted to present it to me. So I'm going to bring more to-do list for you.
More or less.
No, it was more like I've not seen the petition yet. From what I was told, that they wanted like dividers and all that, right? So, yeah. Okay. So I think it's an easy fix, but I don't know if it's an easy fix, but from me, it was an easy fix, yeah.
Make sure it's
If not, I'll buy some stuff from Home Depot and get it done.
No.
All right. Well. And then I also stopped by Sycamore Junior High DLA Spring Picnic. They always put together a great event, and every year it's been growing in terms of students and parents participating. That was great to see. I also want to congratulate Anaheim High School baseball for being the Orange League champions. And congratulations to Anaheim High School for being the democracy school. I know that we have an event this Saturday to accept that award too. Having said that, looking at my chicken scratch, I can't read the last one, so I'll keep that for later.
One more thing, LCAP.
Yep, I did mention LCAP, yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, LCAP. So